So what is happening, people? Hey guys, we're doing a little fishing today. We're at the lake, and surprisingly I'm finding some 50-degree water even after all of this cold that we've had lately. That is very surprising to me. I ducked up in this cove. The wind is puffing about 15-18 miles per hour, and it just blows this aluminum boat all over the place. So I'm gonna go down and we're gonna locate some underwater structure. I haven't been to this lake in a couple of weeks, so not quite sure how the fish are transitioned. I know I saw some crappie in the back of this cove. There's a lot of shad right in the back of the coves right now. They're up on these sandy flats, and I have seen some crappie, but I didn't catch any. There are some bass back here chasing them too. So when I get down, I'm gonna mark the structure. I normally don't throw a buoy marker on it, but since the wind is puffing so hard, I'm gonna throw my buoy marker on. I'll probably have to use my rear camera today. If I use this GoPro, you're gonna hear a lot of wind noise. I don't have a wind sock for it, so I'll be using my back camera, and I'll try to show you some of those crappie on there. One thing I want to do at the beginning of this, I know a lot of people that watch my YouTube channel have YouTube channels of their own, hunting or fishing or whatever. So I'm gonna pose this question: have you seen a drop in your views overall in the past 6 to 8 months? I've noticed a drop in my channel overall from a good high peak. Growing the channel seems to be going down. Don't know if YouTube is throttling hunting and fishing shows. I know they've had some lawsuits, but anyway, comment below if you've seen a difference in your channel or you see it still going, growing. Just curious of what you guys see out there in the field. Anyway, guys, we're gonna ride down the lake and we're gonna go catch a crappie. Hey, stay with us and hope you enjoy the video. So we're around the end. Of February, and I'm sure fish is going to, has started making the transition. So I'm gonna try to go over exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start in the mouth of the coves because I kind of feel like the crappie have started moving to the mouth of the coves, getting ready to move up shallower, probably feeding up. We just had a low pressure went over us last night, so not sure how that's going to affect. Barometric pressure dropped out, but it's on the rise now. So basically I'm just riding around watching my side scan, looking for some underwater structure kind of in the mouth. I'm just coming out of the mouth of this cove. I saw some stumps, so that's how we're going to start. I'm going to ride along, and if I spot something on the bottom, I'll show you. And I'll show you my side scan right here. I'm running at like 99 feet. I'll go down this side here, and I'll try to stay at about 20 to 30 feet of water, running the side scan, and see if I can spot some brush. So as you notice, I've got it set on chirp 455. I hope you can see that. The brightness is about 94. As usual, this area is the depth, so that's from this line to here is 22 feet. I see right here. See, this is probably a school of shad right here. So it's 22 feet out to here, and then it starts, and I'm scanning out about 99 feet. See this? So basically, if this is 25 feet, this is 99. So this area from here to here is about 75 feet. So I know if I'm here and I spot, say this spot right here, you see it's at 50, I know it's about 25 feet over there. Now normally, if I mark some brush, I may or may not go over it and look at it with down scan. Sometimes when you mark it off to one side or the other and you try to go right back over it, you don't exactly go right back over it, look at it with down scan. If it's in really deep water, I do. If it's up 20 feet of water shallower, I don't keep riding the boat back and forth over top of it. What I'll do is I'll get close to my mark and drop my live scope down and actually look at it to see if I want to fish it. So let's just keep looking. And one other thing I want to show you So you'll see your lake has contour lines here. And so like if I'm coming up on this point, I know that basically it gives me an idea of where to keep my boat to run in that 20 to 30 foot range. You see it's not, runs out to about 25 feet right here. So. That is interesting right here. See this spot here? This looks like either a brush pile or a tall stump off the bottom. Looks pretty good. You can see we got 15 feet of water. I'm gonna swing around and go back by and take a look. And so we just went past it. You see this? That's what we saw the first time. See the shadow line? Let me blow that up. So you see the shadow line that is causing. So that tells me that's sticking up off the bottom. Very possibly it has some crappie on it. I just marked that. So now I will take the boat back over there and I will get close and we're gonna fish it. And when I find it with these when I find it with the live scope, then I'll drop a buoy on it. Well, I'll look at it. If it's got fish on it, I'll drop a buoy on it and then I'll start fishing it. Now, that's the first cast. Just a school of crappie that was swimming around. Just a little bit. I mean, that's a little dink. You know, 9.5 inch fish. Well, there's another one. I'm gonna tell you what I found. Right in the mouth of this cove. There's a school of crappie. I mean, they just, I spotted them off to the side. You know, boom, that's a, you know, that's a 9.5 inch fish. So hard I didn't even feel him bite. And he's a pretty good crappie. Yeah, look at him cutting up. He's coming up. The wind's blowing so hard I didn't even feel him bite. And he's a pretty good crappie. Yeah, look at him cutting up. He's okay. Boom, 10 inch fish. So we basically located some structure. Brush under the water. And we caught a couple cast into it. Very difficult to cast a 16th, so I elected, I've got just a white, I've got a 16th head on. Got a 16th head on, and I got a heavy split shot to try to get me down quick, because when I get the boat in position I got to get the lure down to the fish pretty quickly. It looks like they're, you know, roughly 10 feet out. We'll just lay the lure out so you can see the lure going down. So we're going to get the lure and try to keep it out of the tree, right down the side of the tree. Looks like the fish are back to this side. I think I'm actually in the tree. brand new place, I will go in one area and I'll ride and I will look. And as say I'm at Kerr Lake and there's a big section of cove that runs, a mile, off the main section. I may get on that and I may just travel off the bank in 20, 30 feet of water and I'll run it all the way up and I'll mark. I'll get to the end and I'll come back. And when I finish that section, at that point when I finish that section, then what I'll do is I'll come back and I'll start fishing that. And it may take me an hour to do that, and then I can go from spot to spot. Get to a spot, the fish are not biting, boom, I move right to the next spot. And I just keep that up. I hope that makes sense. Now, because I'm vertical jigging and I got this extra weight, I can drop to these fish much quicker. So when I get the boat in position, I don't have a buoy marker out here, but when I get the boat in position, I'm actually floated right over top of it. When I get the boat in position, I'm only there for a second or two and I'm going to be floating off. Come up and bumped it. Could be a bass. Not sure. Been a crappie. That's the ones we're looking for. He hit the hair jig. Boom. He is a keeper. So let's recap today. I found a place I can get out of the wind. And you come to a new place, spend a little time, watch your side scan, troll around, and mark some areas. Don't mark an area here and then ride 3 miles up the lake and mark another place. So pick your area out, spend a little time looking on side scan, down scan. So you'll spend a little time looking around first, and then go back and start checking those places. Typically what I do, if I find a brush pile or something I want to fish, I'll set my live scope. I'll look out about 50 to 60 feet, see what kind of fish is there. I'll cast to those fish. Lots of times the fish will be up in the water column, or there'll be a school of crappie around and they may move off. And if you're a bass fisherman, of course, there'll be some bass kind of sometimes staged around that structure or the drop off or whatever you're fishing. And I'll cast to it, and if I catch some fish, good. If I keep catching fish, that's what I'll do. And like today, the wind was blowing really hard, and so it was easier for me to drop a buoy marker on it, and that way it gives me something visual to actually go back to and vertical jig on. Vertical jigging, I had that split shot above a 1/16 ounce jig. Whether it was a hair or a rubber body jig, it really didn't matter. They hit both today. And I could drop it down a lot quicker to the fish. Because once I position the boat, we drop that lure right over top of that brush or right down close to the fish. If fish are active, they will move several feet out to actually bite the lure. And I saw that today. Some sit right in the brush and you had to get it right on their head. But all in all, it was... I hope you've seen something in the video that you enjoyed. I hope you've seen something in the video that you learned. As always, we try to share our fishing experience with you guys. Remember, God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. Remember to comment on the channel. Please comment on the channel. I'd like to see your comments. Click that like button. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss an episode of Wildlife Adventures. And as always, you remember, it's a wildlife, and I'll see you in the video.